Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode of Can We Talk? We got like 2/3 of the usual suspects and some visitors. Eric is out on leave. You got me. You got Shayna here. What up? We got OG Nicole in the building.
Hey.
We got Amber. We got Benny. We got Paige.
Hi. Yes.
And we got a full house. So we're gonna skip current events. I mean, there is one current event that leads into Shayna's hip hop corner, but we just gonna skip straight to hip hop corner.
Wait, what's that?
So Melania Trump told Donald Trump about A$AP Rocky's situation overseas.
Oh yeah,
I did read that.
A$AP Rocky is locked up in Sweden.
Yeah,
I believe.
I mean, it's a fucked up situation that he was defending himself and then he got locked up.
What was he defending himself about? I didn't read.
He was basically being stalked, and then they have it on camera, and he was like, "Hey man, just leave me alone. Just go on about your business. We're not trying to fight or whatever." And they ended up fighting. An arrest warrant was put out. He turned himself in, and he's been locked up ever since.
Wow.
But how do you feel? How do you guys feel about how some of his past words are being used in a way oh, I don't have any sympathy for him because he said this?
Oh, him not supporting people in jail. I don't care about.
Yeah, I don't care about Ferguson because I don't live there. I live in Soho.
Right.
I'm by my. He said I'm by my jiggy fashion.
Yes.
I think he disrespected. There was an actress singer. I think it's Rita Ora that he disrespected on a song once.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They were exes. They used to be together.
And then
we still disrespected her, but
he had that whole thing where he was saying dark-skinned women shouldn't wear red lipstick, and
I mean,
what?
Look, that speaks to character, but that doesn't speak to the situation that happened. You're seeing a guy who's walking away, as you said, not trying to start a fight. So I mean, it's two different facets you're talking about here.
But yeah, how do you feel about how some people are kind of using that to where they're well, my sympathy is basically turned off for this man.
Business as usual. Every time somebody's caught in a scandal, they always look to past tweets and past things said on stage and said on music and use that against the person. It's business as usual. People need an excuse to not like somebody or to like them.
Yeah. I would kind of stand in the middle of that statement. I do feel like it's wrong, but in the same breath, I don't feel as bad. I do feel bad. He shouldn't be in jail in the conditions that he's in, but and he shouldn't. But he shouldn't be treated the way he is just because he's a human being. But in the same breath, his character is a little off.
I mean, I kind of feel what he's saying. For black celebrities, why do they automatically have to be activists?
That's true. That's real.
They ask our rappers about politics, but they don't do the same, for our white counterparts.
That's true.
Then I think you shouldn't cross that line, because once in a while you get a rapper that's not that really socially conscious, that try to give a one-off statement towards something, but when they get caught to bat, I can't give you a real example right now, but when they get caught to bat, it's oh well, that has nothing to do with me. But I'm well, you kind of almost crossed that line in this one song. I'm well, then don't touch it. If you want to be the fun rapper that doesn't touch on certain issues, then just stay that way.
But at the same time, we do have to also look at rap, and sometimes rap is just acting. A lot of times people don't even know what they're talking about, or people don't live up to what they say.
I think that's why it's so easy for rappers to make the transition into acting. Mahershala Ali.
Exactly. A lot of rappers turn actors.
Raps?
Yes.
What group?
Prince Ali.
Little known fact.
Was he underground? I never knew. Was he mainstream or?
Was he good?
I thought he was pretty good, but it might have been maybe more so underground than.
Okay, cool.
I could see that.
Nice. Comedians have the easiest transition to drama too.
You think?
Because they're acting on stage.
Yeah, and they're depressed.
They're always a part of the guild. If you look them up,
not every comedian is depressed.
Chris
though.
Rock wasn't a guild. There are a lot. Louis C.K. He's a comedian, but he also helps write his movies.
Yeah.
It's just an easy transition because they know how to construct scripts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, did you have any other thoughts on that, or did you want to?
Oh, we can transition to the Nas Lost Tapes 2. I believe these are from the Untitled era, like Hip Hop is Dead, and then Untitled all the way up to Nasir. It's not as good as the first Lost Tapes, but the first Lost Tapes were albums that were actually on, I believe, I Am and Nostradamus, but back in the late 90s, early 2000s, albums did leak. So they were pulled, and then basically new albums were constructed. But I like the first Lost Tapes better than this one. And this one, it's not as easy for me to gauge which era they're from as the first Lost Tapes. Like the first Lost Tapes, it's like, oh, this is from, this probably was supposed to be on I Am, or this was probably supposed to be on Nostradamus, or this was probably supposed to be on It Was Written. For this one, I'm like, it's kind of harder for me to gauge what song goes where.
Is it better that way?
I think so.
So it's like an all-around Nas?
Yeah.
Like a well-rounded Nas from the past, present, and future?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who were these tapes for? What audience was scared for it?
It's if I'm not mistaken, is it the pretty much the songs that got left off the album?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a compilation, basically.
Yeah.
So
what do
it's
you
core fans probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you give it out of 5?
I give it 3.5 out of 5.
3.5. Okay. So I heard you heard Beyonce's Lion King, the Gift album.
Yes.
Okay, what do you think about that?
I enjoyed it. My favorite song is actually a song that she's not on. It's by the song, I think it's called Jarab by Burna Boy. He's actually a very popular Nigerian artist. But that's my favorite song. It's got the Sade vibe, very smooth song. Like, it's basically the only song on the album where I was like, man, I gotta run this shit back. Like, but I think, like, it was quote unquote a surprise album, but we all know, like, Beyonce going after that EGOT. So, and you can't get the EGOT without the original song.
Yep.
Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if she did, just because, to be honest with you.
Oh, is Beyonce in the category?
I mean, let's
if we
be
get
real.
one to 3-6,
Yeah.
we gotta get one to Beyonce.
Yeah, and you know, John Legend got one who's very deserving of it.
Yes.
I mean, when he came out, everybody always said, like, oh, he sounds like he's on Broadway, you know, or he sounds like his music belongs in a movie. So, I mean, that was a given. That's well deserved. And Beyonce is just being Beyonce. Yeah.
Randy saw The Lion King.
No, wait, we'll get into that in 2 cents. Well, I mean, are we done with Hip Hop Corner? Like, so, like, what would you give the Gift out of 5?
I don't know. Like,
I liked it.
I liked it, but a lot of that stuff is like I probably won't listen, except for the Burna Boy song. I probably won't listen to it next week.
Okay.
Like, the replay value was not there.
Okay. All right. So we all set, or anything else? Any news in hip hop?
I'm trying to think. We didn't talk about JD last week.
JD. Jermaine Dupri. Okay, yeah.
We didn't talk about
Dupri.
JD.
All right.
He made some commentary basically saying that female rappers, they
I
all
heard about
sound the same. Like, they're basically just strippers rapping now. And he caught a lot of backlash for that. How do you feel about that? How you guys feel about that?
I think that's really rude.
Yeah.
To say that about females.
Generally, that is
artists.
rude.
Yeah.
That's like saying all male rappers are drug dealers.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Like, why is there a blanket statement for that?
Yeah.
Why? I don't get
You
He
know.
tried to clarify and backtrack a little bit and say, I never said all strippers rapping. I never said all female rappers. So he's kind of just trying to defend himself right now, if you look at the comments.
There's been some talk online. Well, I guess I don't know if the Brat said it, but somebody said, like, well, you know, when he makes a statement like that, he is trying to get people to talk, and he usually has something planned up his sleeve to come out with. Now, that wouldn't surprise me if you were just saying that just to get a lot of people talking, and then to be like, oh, but look at this, a female rapper right here that's talking about something that I produced. That could be the motive, but I did think it was just like kind of out of nowhere. I don't know.
But Cardi B responded, and she got a point. Like, basically, like, there are real spitters out there. And then when we talk about something other than, sex, y'all don't want to listen to it.
Right.
That's fact.
That's why Rhapsody isn't as mainstream as she should be. I'm always going to, just stand up for rap. I love Rhapsody.
Yeah, I love Rhapsody, too.
With a passion.
Cardi B is a well eloquent. I mean, she is, the queen of ratchet, if you want to put her that way. But I think when you see her on social media, she actually brings up some eloquent arguments that are really multifaceted.
Yeah, and she also did use her platform to big up female rappers that are spitters.
Yeah.
And a lot of the female rappers that are out today, well, aside from, no offense, but aside from City Girls, they are educated, talented, and really have the power. They could like you said, rap about stuff that we quote unquote want to hear, but it's never gonna get the same play as opposed to them rapping about stripper stuff or stuff that sexually appeals.
But strippers break records now. It used to be DJs. But now strippers break records. If they not playing your song in the strip club, if they play your song in the strip club, and they not throwing money when your song come on, your song is dead.
Yeah,
it's dead. Basically,
you don't have a career without the strip club.
Yeah,
period.
So I don't and strippers know what people want to hear. So that's why you see a lot more now of strippers transitioning into being rappers because they know what everybody wants to hear.
Yeah.
You mean strippers or strip clubs? Because they
no,
don't.
strippers.
Actual strippers. Because if they play your song in the strip club, and
Cash
I said,
Doll being
they
the prime example.
I mean, if you're good at your job, you notice what works and what
Cash
doesn't.
Doll.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was saying if you work your job and you're good at your job, you know what works and what doesn't for your customer, your audience, or whatever. But I totally agree. All right. With that being said, moving on to 2 cents. ain't nothing really new this week. I went and rewatched Midsummer, and
You like it?
it's even better the second time around when you know the ending and just like the foreshadowing the director does throughout the film, he sets it up nicely. But other than that,
What did you pick up on the second time around?
So like we said beforehand, there's paintings all over the walls in some scenes. If you look at those, especially in the paintings on the draw sheets in one scene of the movie, not to give anything away for anybody, but it kind of foreshadows the film as it goes on. Like certain subtle pieces with certain side characters, on a second rewatch, it all adds up in the end perfectly. So he did set it up well. He set it up for multiple rewatches, so that was smart. I saw Spider-Man. I finally saw Spider-Man.
Okay.
Solid movie. It was solid. I don't know, man. I just thought it was all right. It was solid. I thought it was better than Captain Marvel. It's one of the better films of the standalone Marvel films.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could lead to a better Spider-Man sequel.
I think the sequel gonna be off the chain.
Yeah.
What do you think about supporting cast?
Supporting cast, Jake Gyllenhaal did great.
Yeah.
He was a great Mysterio. Just
Yeah.
like the charm and humor between him and Tom Holland was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Jackson was good. We see Nick Fury at a point in his career where it's like, no, I'm not gonna just show up because you want me to show up. I'm my own person. I'm not a superhero all of the time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there was a little bit of independence there. Yeah, I thought the supporting cast was good. Zendaya was cool. The best friend was good.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody here saw The Lion King.
Except Randy.
I saw the Lion. We saw the Lion King last night.
Yeah.
Oh,
Was it
how
good?
was it?
It was good.
Yeah, it was
Nice.
great.
How
I
did-
personally loved
They
it.
did not mess it up.
They
Okay.
did.
Which I was happy
Okay.
about.
Yeah.
Is it needed?
No,
No,
absolutely
no,
not.
It's
no,
not.
no,
It's
no,
Are
not
any
needed.
of the live action remakes needed?
But it's nice.
Yeah.
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 Exactly that. It's not needed, but it was nice. I feel like it gave us a chance to, we just revisited it. It was just like, we're almost 30 now. And when we first watched it, we were like 3, 4, 5, one of those ages. And so we were seeing it and we were feeling those emotions about it, but we didn't understand them. Now we're adults. Now we're adults and we're looking at it and we realize like, oh snap, this is a good story.
Yeah.
Or
Hamlet.
Yeah, it's based off Hamlet.
yeah, this is a good story. So
Is this the 4th live action remake? Jungle Book,
of Disney.
Beauty and the Beast.
Are we
Aladdin.
including one?
Oh no, they had
101
Dumbo
Dalmatians?
and
Oh, I
Well,
forgot Dumbo. I didn't see
yeah.
Dumbo. I never liked Dumbo.
Are we,
so I
include-
didn't.
are we including 101 Dalmatians?
oh
That
yeah,
was
they
made
did
in
do
the
live
90s.
action ones of those.
That was
No.
before they were calling them live action.
That's
Yeah.
remembered
Okay.
more than the cartoon, though.
Yeah.
Glenn Close one is remembered more.
Yeah,
than
that was
What? No,
definitely
the
good.
cartoon
That
was
The
great.
cartoon was, yeah. But
They are-
re-released, like, I didn't know this when I was a child. Like, they re-released a lot of those, like, Disney movies that they made in, like, the 50s and 60s
So they
into
can
the
extend their
theaters.
copyright.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
They extended
And their
them.
classics.
And
Yeah.
like they re-released them into the movie theater. So when I went to see 101 Dalmatians when I was little, I thought it was a new movie.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
a lot
do-
of kids are going to see Lion King thinking this is
Yeah,
a
they've
new
never
movie.
seen it.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
do-
brand new.
I do have a live action remake that's necessary.
Which
What?
one?
Fern Gully and Pocahontas.
What? No.
I love
No,
Pocahontas.
it's already made.
Oh, Avatar.
Avatar. that was necessary.
Avatar.
That was necessary.
Yeah, Avatar was
Okay.
really good.
Yeah.
I love Fern Gully.
They are doing one on Cruella de Vil. I know. It's like they're kind of doing it like how they did Maleficent with Sleeping Beauty. They kind of
Oh, okay.
singled out the villain and like dissected the villain.
A
That'd be
lady
kinda
wants to
cool.
club puppies.
Come on,
I
man.
honestly
coat.
think that would be interesting to
Yeah.
see.
I bet she used to love a dog that got killed in a horrible accident.
Yeah, I want to know what her
Yeah.
problem is.
I would love to see her backstory. Honestly, now that
Yeah,
you mentioned it.
I'm
I want to know how
interested
she
in
made
that.
her money.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
She's a
That's
fashion
good.
Like,
designer, ain't
I
she?
think it costs a lot more to pay men to steal the puppies
Yeah.
as opposed to going to the store and just buying the coat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, who got money like that? Where you
Yeah,
get
we
your
definitely
money
need to
from?
see that backstory. Peter's gonna petition it, but you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else seen some movies in the theaters lately?
Last one I saw in the theaters was Toy Story 4.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
we
is
saw
that
that
good?
too.
Again,
Yeah.
It was really
good movie, but is it necessary?
Wasn't necessary, but they didn't do a bad job with
Yeah.
it. So
Like
we
a lot of
watched
people
it.
were like, you know, the third movie was supposed to be the last movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like everyone's going into it just thinking like, oh, it's gonna be like, it's not gonna give you the same feelings.
But
all
they
the
didn't
other movies
disappoint.
give you.
They,
Yeah.
At this point, they could do a show, and
I was
probably-
entertained the whole
yeah.
time.
They need to pay Tom Hanks
Invested
and Tim Allen
emotionally.
Bank to do a show. That's not going to happen. Unless
Well, they
you do the side
usually don't.
characters.
They don't have the main like actors do the show because Lion
Yeah.
King had a show.
Timon and Pumbaa.
Lion King had a show.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
they did
uh,
like Lion
it was
King and
on
a
Disney.
half,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Wow.
and they
No,
did
that
have
was a movie.
show with just Timon and Pumbaa. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Was it on Disney?
Yeah.
Yeah.
they
forgot
did.
what it
Yeah,
was
they did
called.
one for Aladdin, and
Yeah.
the Little Mermaid had a show too.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
there's like these
Aladdin,
little cartoons.
I'm missing out.
Emperor's New Groove.
I didn't know that one.
No,
Oh
that
yeah,
was a
Kronk
good
had
show.
something,
I love
didn't he?
Emperor's New Grove. I thought
Yeah,
that was-
I watched that too
Yeah,
much
that
for
was
my
cool.
age.
Yeah.
I was like a senior in high school when that movie came out.
Yeah, Disney, they definitely know how to capitalize off a good story.
Oh yeah.
So, and they definitely use the idea of you don't have to create something new, but just use what you got and go with that and recreate it every time.
Right.
They're probably the only people who could do that.
And
Amazingly.
as long as we
Yeah.
keep going to see them, they're gonna keep making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's the nostalgia too. And then for a lot of kids growing up, this is new for them. You know, a lot of kids are not seeing these.
If you're a
stories as
good
often.
parent, then it's not new.
If you're a good parent, very correct. Yes,
Yeah,
very correct.
I agree. All right, so we're moving on to our topic, our central topic today. So I'm gonna start this off with just like a little statement. So everybody can relate to this. Well-known subscriber service, been out. I think the first time I really got into it with everybody else was in college. I think that's when a lot of people got into it our age. Basically a place where for like, I guess now $12 to $13 a month, you can watch any movie and TV show. A wonderful thing. It's not wonderful when you get too into it and it takes away time from your regular life because it kind of introduced the term binge watching. But nowadays you got to ask if a service such as, you know, what's the Netflix, you know, like the end, the logo.
Oh,
Right.
Oh yeah.
You know, you got to ask if a service like Netflix can survive in an oversubscribed market that we have today. Like when there was the Hulus and the Amazon Primes, it was cool. It was healthy competition. But nowadays, when people are like cutting the cord when, you know, to watch a TV show, allegedly all you need now is Wi-Fi. Every channel, cable or not, has a subscription-based
Yeah.
service. You got HBO, Stars, Showtime, to the ABCs, NBCs, and and all above. So I gotta ask this question. We're just gonna start off like this. In the oversubscribed market that we have today, is Netflix truly gonna survive?
I think yes. Like out of all of them, I would prefer Netflix. I think.
That's
So I would
how.
say yeah.
Until Disney comes with Disney Plus, and then
Oh, and Disney
There's
Plus.
just so
This-
much,
yeah.
and they have so much content.
and they're coming at $7 right now.
It's not gonna stay that way though.
Or
No,
even
it'll get
70
more
for the whole
expensive.
year, which is even cheaper.
Which
Yeah.
is yeah.
Compared
For
to
now,
$12.99 Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
and they don't have an annual option like Amazon Prime. They have an annual option where you can just pay
Pay.
like the flat fee and then you good for the year.
Yeah.
So is it going
And they
to
have all
survive?
the hood movies.
I mean, I feel like it would because they do have their own original content that people enjoy, and they might pay to keep around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some good original Netflix shows, but they're just crapping out anything these days.
Yeah, a lot of them, especially the movies, a lot of them are duds.
A lot of the movies are duds. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll defend Netflix series wise, but movies I gotta agree. It really is a toss up whether you're gonna find a good movie. And just when they started to release like the best one they had in years, like okay, Roma won some awards, but Triple Frontier with Ben Affleck and my man from Sons of Anarchy,
Jax.
right? That movie could have been released in theaters. A very good action thriller, but at that point, Netflix said, okay, we're wasting too much money on movies. Not that many people are watching them. Let's just go back to shows. So I gotta say with the movies option, okay, you might have a point there. But as far as shows, I mean, and these people gave us Orange is the New Black, House of Cards, Stranger Things, Dear White People. I can go down the list. They deliver when it comes to shows.
I agree. And that's the only thing I feel like that's really gonna save them is their original show content. However, a lot of those shows that you mentioned are
They're ending.
They're phasing out, and so the new content that they are dropping that are new shows aren't really hitting like that.
You don't like Russian Doll? Russian Doll, I heard
I
got
didn't
good
even watch
reviews.
it.
When they see
Oh,
us,
but I did watch Dead to Me, and Dead to Me
That
was
to me
really
was
good.
awesome.
Dead to Me was really
Yeah.
good.
What
Dead
is
to
Dead
Me.
to Me about?
So it's basically about like a grieving wife, and she gets what is the girl's name? Linda Cardinelli, plays
Freaks
her.
and Geeks.
Yeah, Freaks and Geeks. Oh, that was but that wasn't Netflix. They only had one season.
They only
too.
have one season.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she is a grieving wife, and she befriends. Basically, she doesn't know, but she befriends her husband's killer.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
And she
kind of
doesn't-
cool.
Yeah, but she
I like that.
She
I
doesn't
want to see it
know.
now.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
doesn't know.
Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
watch
Like
it.
you have to like. Yeah, it's a very good.
And it's like
show.
a dark comedy too.
Yeah.
So and it's hilarious.
The
but
women are great in it. It's
Yes.
very good humor.
Yes.
It's very like real issues too that you have
Yeah.
to think about after death, and
Okay,
It's-
so I
it's a
should
great
see
show.
it.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
absolutely.
thinking.
Watch it.
100% watch
And
it.
there's also Grace and Frankie, which is has a great audience with Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin.
Yeah. I don't. But okay, Grace and Frankie. Yeah, that's good. But I don't think that's gonna be one of the shows that is gonna hold them
Well,
up.
I'm just going by serial programming that
okay.
that's strong, that that has fans alike. You know what I mean? But there's
Yeah.
also a downplay with Netflix when they cancel a show too early.
Yeah.
Like I know people were in outrage over One Day at a Time, Santa Clarita Diet.
Yeah, people have been really complaining
Oh,
about
I
that.
hated Santa Clarita.
I wasn't
San-
a fan of it.
Since 8,
I
people
thought
were
it
in
was good.
outrage over these shows being canceled too soon. Because I think Netflix has the 3-season rule. Once a show gets to 3 seasons, it's kind of a toss up whether it survives or not.
Jessica
Or maybe- I
Jones
don't-
example.
Oh,
like the Reverend
Jessica
Run.
Jones. So
But that was the Disney thing.
Yeah.
'Cause
I know.
Disney's taking.
That's what I was gonna say. She's
Yeah.
actually
we
going
just
to Disney
finished off
Plus.
the season too.
Yeah, but I love that show. That's why I
it
watch
was
Netflix.
amazing.
I mean,
Yeah.
so let's go down the line
But
here.
that's what's. Sorry,
ahead,
to make
go
a
ahead.
point, that's what's happening though. Is we talked about this at work the other day. Netflix used to have like HBO programs, and then HBO was like, you know what? No, we're gonna come up with our own streaming service, and it's gonna be a lot more expensive than Netflix. But our shows are in high demand.
Yeah, like
We can
when
make more money than you.
When I first started watching streaming Netflix, they had like the little licensing agreement with Stars and Viacom.
They had The Sopranos. You know,
So they had like newer movies. They had like the Stars TV show. I think the only big Stars TV show that they had at the time was Spartacus.
Spartacus. I think
Yeah.
that's still on there.
and then they had like the newer movies and Nickelodeon shows, and then like slowly but surely like these networks started pulling out. They didn't have any original content when they first started.
Yeah.
I think because they're like the OG of this, I think they're going to survive. Because like there's only so many HBO programming you can watch. There's only so many FX shows that you like.
Yeah.
Just being subscribed to one thing. There's only so many shows on Stars that a person likes.
I mean,
Netflix has always been that melting pot of content, and again, that makes Amazon and Hulu like rightful competitors, but they've always been. You know what I mean? Until everybody else came in. What were you about to say?
Oh, go ahead.
I feel like cable's just going to be obsolete.
Yeah.
Oh,
Over
yeah.
time.
I agree with that.
Instead of paying $60 a month for a certain amount
That's
of
on the low
programs you
end.
can watch, why just pay $10 for certain subscriptions that can offer you enough time and a material that you're going to want to watch for a while.
Yeah.
But me and Paige, we were having a discussion about our parents. Like, our parents are older,
Yeah,
of
I
course,
think
and they
it's-
have cable, and they have all the channels.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, they watch everything. Like, my mom watched CBS shows, HBO shows.
Every
like,
single
they
day.
watch. I'm like, how you get anything done around here? But
No.
everything. Like, you watch Judge Judy.
Yeah.
Like, what's the one that? No, Days of Our Lives. Like, she watched soap operas and then, the
Yeah.
weekly shows.
So for
It's
her, it's
great for
worth
them.
it to have the television subscription, right?
Yeah.
I feel like with people in our age group, like I feel like in the millennial age, when like not because you're too busy working, that too, but it's like you don't have time to be a couch potato and just like sit and just surf through channels. Like you're better off just having selective viewing. Like, okay, I want to watch this movie at this time when I get off work, instead of having to record it or just having to remember to record it or anything of that sort. You know what I mean? Like, selected programming is the best thing for our generation at this point in time.
And then a lot of us, we work desk jobs.
Yeah.
So, like,
We
we're
are
at
gonna
our
binge
desk,
at work.
like,
Yeah.
I'm about to catch up on such and such because...
Right.
Yeah.
And from a rational standpoint, it's like I don't need all these channels because I'm only gonna watch like 50% of all of this.
Yeah, and, like, as people are cutting the cord, a lot of these networks are feeling it. Like, I'm not sure if you guys knew, but, like, $5 out of everybody's cable bill goes to ESPN. And a lot of people don't watch ESPN. So as people started cutting the cord, ESPN, they lost revenue, and then they had to do a lot of mass layoffs.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
This is kind of a lesson for the cable companies to lower the cost, because that's really what it comes down to. If cost gets lowered, then some people will come back. People will come back, but if there's not gonna be much budging, then this is what it is.
And cable companies are like phone companies. They have been yet to budge when it comes to prices. That's one of the main reasons why I feel like our generation doesn't use cable, because it's like, why am I paying $90? Then call next week is going up to $120, and I haven't even watched TV really.
Yeah,
You're right.
my parents have Xfinity, and you
Which
can't
is
watch
expensive
anything. Yeah,
for
it's
no reason.
expensive. The customer service is terrible, even though like now you can schedule a customer service call, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But like you can't. I guess the programs we can't record it in advance. If you know how like you used to have the on-demand option, you can pick a show from ABC that aired like a couple weeks ago and catch up on it. You have to subscribe now to ABC through Xfinity just to watch it when you want to watch it.
And
That's not only are you paying money for cable, they're expecting you to pay money for a certain channel just so you could watch it at your convenience.
But that's basic cable. Why am I paying for something that's
Basic cable.
trying to be like HBO when it's not? You're basic.
I agree. I feel like people shouldn't have to pay that much. At most, basic cable should be like a $40 plan. That's it. And you get all the basic, channels. You get MTV, BET, VH1, and TMC or something like that. And that should be.
But if you're paying for basic cable, like basic cable is just long order marathons. That's like that's
You
already-
are like trying to watch General Hospital or do whatever.
Yeah, exactly. My grandmother, she has basic cable, and she pays like $60, $70 a month just to watch the stories. Literally, she watches, Wheel of Fortune, if that even still comes on, all of the stories. She watches the lottery, And literally, these are the shows that she watches, which are basic.
Oh my
like,
God.
you should only
That's
need an
regular
antenna.
TV.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say those are all available over the air. She doesn't even need cable for that, just an antenna.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't, you know.
You just have to buy the little digital antenna.
Yeah, because she pays a lot of money just to watch regular TV that you should need an antenna for, like you guys said. So.
It's starting to become the thinking man's market when it comes to this, and I'm kind of a little shocked that it didn't like turn like this beforehand, before we kind of grew of adult age, where it's like really all we need is internet. And I know some people at my age that are kind of afraid, like, well, you know, I like having the channels and just having to watch TV when I get home. I'm like, you can still do that. You can have just selected programming of what you want to watch.
Yeah.
She says, I just feel secure with it. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
well, you're
because
paying extra money
I
to feel secure.
love ID, but I'm not about to pay for that. Like, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna.
That's one
like,
of those shows. That,
I mean,
one of
I
those
already feel
channels.
guilty for liking the ID channel.
Why? That is the
'Cause it's
best
just
channel.
This death and murder. How did they find out?
That
who
is the
killed
best
who?
channel.
And I'm like, I'm not about to pay for that. Like, I watch it, but I'm not that sinister to where I'm gonna pay for ID.
That used to be Court TV, right? Or
No,
was that
Court
True?
TV is
No,
True TV.
True TV,
Yeah.
okay.
They have completely gone away. I used to love like watching Court TV, and then they went to True TV, and now you can watch NCAA championship.
They need more disorder in the court.
You know,
That used to
another
be one
thing
of my
too
favorites.
is like, if I want to watch anything that's kind of like from ID or whatever, I just go on YouTube.
Yeah,
They have
usually
True
it's on
Crime Daily, that channel. It gives you like the quick lowdowns on like what's current and what's happened and how you can do it help. You know, I use it to even like catch up on like old MTV shows I like, just to have like someone update me on what's going on.
Yeah.
That way I'm not like
YouTube, yeah.
YouTube has become like that nostalgic place. I mean, that place to go where you want to go see like something old.
Yeah, like allegedly, you know, there are like I've watched allegedly older like Oprah shows.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a whole
yeah,
like
you could watch Judge Judy for like hours on
yeah.
YouTube.
What do you watch?
Couples court and paternity court.
You watch
Ooh.
a lot.
I'm surprised at Paternity Court. That's such a good show. I love
Yeah.
Lauren Lake.
They
Just
have
side
like
note.
a whole, but they have like a whole court channel, which is not basic like cable.
Oh,
But yeah, they have a
yeah.
whole like channel with the court shows.
And a lot of the channels, like TNT, they offer, if you just get the app, you can watch it live, or you can watch it for free.
Okay.
So
Side note question: if you had a choice, we'll put it like on a desert island kind of situation. Do you think any of these premium channels, I want to say FX, AMC included, do you think any one of them deserves their own subscription?
If they keep making shows
No.
like Breaking Bad and like another show like that,
Well, I mean, like which one though specifically? Like you looking at the HBOs and the Stars and all that.
they
does
already
it-
have.
does
I
it-
mean, for
I mean,
most of them.
No, I know they already have it, but which one do you think?
FX definitely.
Yeah.
FX?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, I would agree with
they
that.
they deserve their own
I
like
agree.
subscription service because they have they've been putting out good shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Over HBO?
I mean, if like something
Not
like
over
TNT
HBO.
came out with their own subscription where they're playing like reruns of How I Met Your Mother,
TBS. Come on.
Then
man.
no,
TNT,
Big
they
that's
Bang
not
had
Theory.
like
necessary.
original shows. They had a
USA.
I wouldn't watch them. Like they had like
Exactly.
The Closer. They
Oh, I
had
used to
that
love that
one.
show.
They had that one show that's kind of like Ocean's 8 or Ocean's 11. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
Oh, what was it? Monk. They had that show too.
That's USA.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
don't know.
USA.
I don't think any of the
No.
basic
I don't think
ones.
so either.
I think out of the ones right below premium with HBOs and all that, I think FX probably might be the best one. That's
Yes,
like, okay,
definitely.
that
Yeah.
one kind of deserves its own subscription. You got American Horror Story, Nip Tuck, Atlanta, Louis, what
Atlanta.
Sons of Anarchy. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, FX is probably the one that deserves it.
The Shield.
The Shield.
Yeah.
Amazing,
I'm watching that right now. Actually,
amazing programming. Okay, so basically, I want to ask this question. So if it is the end of Netflix, I don't think it is, but who would be the successor? Prime?
No.
No.
I think Hulu has a complete series of all the subscriptions. Like on Netflix, they just added Scare Tactics. There are only 2 seasons on it. Hulu has the complete series of Shield, complete series of every anime or whatever I'm looking for.
That could be limited though.
And I mean, I'm just an adult, kind of a nerd, where I like anime and movies and complete series, which Hulu has all 3. So that's why.
Okay, but looking at limited licensing with stuff like that, with having complete series, because even The Office is about to leave Netflix next year, which is sad to me because that's my favorite sitcom. But so is everyone in? So does mostly everyone agree with Hulu?
Hulu, cause they but they and they have
They don't
stuff,
have movies though.
and Hulu has
Well,
stuff
they got some movies.
that they like that's
Right.
not on. Like I watched Living Single.
Yeah.
Like I watched the whole
They have
series.
music too, don't they? I don't use
Oh,
it.
they got Doug.
Hulu?
Yeah,
Doug.
they have,
Rugrats.
I
I'll watch
just-
that.
They just put Veronica Mars on there.
Mhm.
I watched Daria on there.
Yeah, they added
Yeah.
Daria recently.
And they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
They revamped another Veronica Mars movie.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if it's a series or a movie again, but they just brought like everything back and made it new.
Yeah, which is amazing because I love Veronica Mars. So it's
Hulu has some great originals too.
Yeah.
I watched
Yeah.
East Los High for some reason. I don't know.
I've been hearing a lot
They had
about
the fire film about the fire festival.
I saw that.
But Netflix is theirs is a little better.
It was,
Yeah.
but it was a solid doc on its own.
Yeah.
And I like Hulu does offer more true crime. Like they offer more ID network like shows that you watch on ID. Like they have all the big shows like where it was 4 to 5 episodes long where it was on like Jodi Arias or
Yeah.
Casey Anthony and you could watch all those episodes on Hulu.
Hulu definitely offers more, especially when it comes to TV.
Yeah.
Yeah,
as
they
far-
have the live TV option. That's how I went over my homegirl house and we watched the Super Bowl because she has the live Hulu.
Yeah.
And what channels are that? Just like the basic channels, or
Yeah, like basic channels. So we were able to watch the Super Bowl through Hulu. You can't do that through Netflix. You
Yeah.
can watch live football through Amazon Prime though.
You can't watch anything live on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
So-
Hulu Sports now. They're advertising it now. Like Giannis is doing it. So I haven't explored it, but I know it's there.
Yeah, so if I want to cut the cord and I'm like, well, I can't cut the cord because how am I going to watch my sports?
Bam. Yeah. So there you have it.
Yeah,
Hulu
and that's
is the
I
one.
feel like sports is a huge reason why people still stick with cable. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have my brother
Absolutely.
wakes up every morning and just watches ESPN. They could just be talking about something that happened yesterday and like just do reruns of the game for 6 hours and he won't leave that. He's down.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you guys remember, but Monday Night Football used to be on like regular TV.
Oh.
And then when they moved Monday Night Football to ESPN, it was like a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Like how am I gonna watch my football?
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Like if I don't have cable.
I really feel like the subscription market nowadays is oversaturated. Like it comes to the point where my mom, I was talking with my mother the other day. She said, I know BET is coming out with a subscription soon because they announced it. She says, I just can't do it.
I'm
Like,
not paying for that.
I can't do anything else. I'm staying with what I got. And I agree with her on that. I'm like, even with the Disney Plus option, it's a great thing to have like Disney films come out the vault and all that. But I mean, again, like, how much time are you really gonna spend watching Disney movies unless you're an ultra
all
fan?
the time.
They know they're gonna get
a lot of time.
Mostly
I mean,
go there
honestly,
for the series.
like-
though.
Where else am I
Yeah.
gonna watch the Great Mouse Detective?
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah, that used to be on Netflix.
Yeah.
That made me
So
really
that's
happy.
interesting. Y'all
Yeah,
can
I
take
love
that
that
forever
movie.
over anything else.
Yeah.
Disney? Yeah. I would.
Especially if
I
they're
don't
gonna
share that
keep coming
sentiment,
out
but-
with like
For me,
Marvel
yeah.
They're gonna have
series.
original content on there.
Yeah.
And like they're
also.
all gonna include like Jeremy Renner. They're gonna have Elizabeth
Yeah.
Olsen. They're gonna have the original
People-
actors who
yeah.
played the characters.
Well, again, you're talking about actors, like, but looking at programming though, like original programming. Okay, I see the allure in it, but I just can't stick with like one network or studio over anything else.
you
So
might
you're a
not have a
cheater.
choice. You might.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Oh, go ahead. What was that?
I said, so you're a cheater. You can't stick with one. You gotta.
Yeah. I'm a cheater. Oh, definitely when it comes to
Yeah,
film, I'm a
it's-
cheater. Definitely.
You're not gonna have a choice. You're just gonna have multiple subscriptions
But now
in the
there's
future.
so many that you might as well have cable.
Yeah.
I was
That's true.
just about
Wow,
to say
that's
that
the best
they
observation.
add up. You know
Yeah,
what
they're
I'm
gonna
saying?
add up. Like, okay, I already have to pay for my high speed internet, and I'm gonna pay for my now like Netflix,
Netflix, Hulu.
Hulu, and Amazon Prime. Now they're the basic cable.
Yeah.
Like they're the basic. Like these are like the 3 subscription services that you have to have. Oh, now okay, I want to watch Game
HBO,
of Thrones. I want to
yeah.
watch Euphoria, so I got to pay $14.99 for that.
Yeah.
I want to watch this. If I want to watch Power, I got to pay $12.99 for that.
If you had
And that
every,
comes out to your cable bill.
if you
Yeah.
had almost every subscription service out there, it would add up to a cable bill. But that's not a bad thing because you got selective programming this time around and don't have to wait for a show to come on at a certain time. So it is better in a way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But again, it there is something to say for like control of like what you subscribe to and like really having to be the thinking man's market. Like, okay, do I really need this?
Mm-hmm. I actually like that option. I like the fact that we are able to choose what we want. However, I do worry about, like some of those stations that aren't getting watched as much, or that they,
Like, who gonna pay for C-SPAN?
who?
Like, I watch C-SPAN. Like, well, who's gonna pay for that?
Yeah.
Like,
and
and that's like part of basic cable.
yeah.
Who's gonna pay for TBS? That's ridiculous to me.
I like CBS.
A lot of the shows
Would
that
you
come on
pay for it?
TBS come on other channels too, though.
If I was
Doesn't
still
the last
17,
OG come
I
on
would.
TBS?
I love
Family
that
Guy was
show, but it's
popular.
also on Netflix
Oh yeah,
now.
Family
That's
Guy.
Fox,
Yeah.
though.
I
That's
love
Fox.
Family Guy.
Well, it would still re-air on TBS, and American Dad would too.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the
Yeah.
subscription service.
Oh, I'm talking about TBS.
No. TBS, the subscription service. I mean,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
No,
no.
FX, they do The Simpsons. I think FXX.
every
I
Simpsons
feel
ever.
like
They do
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
they have all the Simpsons episodes.
For TBS, a lot of the shows cross over into other channels, so
yeah.
Yeah.
it's not even that major. So TBS will probably be the first one out.
Yeah, because I mean, really, they do got to start making like more original content.
Yeah,
like they
they
can't
don't-
just. They do a lot of reruns.
They're syndicated. A lot of their stuff is just syndicated, content. So
Okay.
they would be gone.
Does anybody have a favorite Netflix binge watch moment? Like it doesn't even have to be an original Netflix show, but just a show you encountered through Netflix that
Grey's
you binge.
Anatomy.
Okay. so
Oh
Grey's
yeah,
Anatomy.
if that's always like you go back to Grey's Anatomy.
I've been watching it for like 2 years now, and I'm still not finished. But that's because I don't have a lot of time to watch it. But
I
it's
have
so
completely
good, and
clocked out
I've been
from-
trying
Yeah,
to
I-
figure
I
out.
clocked out around like season 9, but like
That's where I'm at.
if
I'm
like
on
I
season
can't
9.
get into watching anything else, I'll
I
just
just
go
turn
back
on-
and watch Grey's Anatomy.
Yep. I literally just turn it on when I can't figure out what I want to watch.
I feel like that's
So-
our generation's ER, Grey's Anatomy.
I
Like,
loved ER too, and that's on Hulu, by the
Yeah,
way.
it's on Hulu.
The complete series.
Well,
I think what happened with me, I finished watching 24. Because what happened was my dad went out Black Friday one year and got the whole,
Bless
got
you.
like the first 2 seasons of 24 on DVD.
Oh, I
That
love
was like
that.
my first encounter with binge watching. Like, oh man, what the fuck, Jack Bauer? Like, so and then I went out and bought season 3. We watched season 3, and by the time we finished up season 3, season 4 was on. I watched the first episode. I said, "Fuck this shit, I can't. Like, I can't wait till next week." So I hadn't picked it up since, and then when I first started streaming, I'm like, oh, 24 is on here. So
Yeah.
I finished watching 24, and then I'm like, oh, let me see what Prison Break is all about.
yeah.
Gateway drug.
The worst binge watching I've ever done was season 2 of Stranger Things. I watched the entire season overnight.
That was me for
I stayed up, I pulled an all-nighter and just finished it.
Wow.
that was me for Orange is the New Black. The
I
one,
was gonna say
Yeah.
that.
the one
I
where
agree.
the season
Yeah.
where the riot happened, and it was all like
Yeah.
throughout the riot.
Yeah.
I binge watched that in the day. But my favorite binge watching moment, similar to your 24 experience, was The Office.
Okay.
Because I used to watch that while I was on, but then I got kind of preoccupied and I kind of fell off. But when it was on Netflix, I just like watched that and the seasons I missed, and it was just beautiful to me. Made me fall even more in love with the show too. It made me appreciate it more.
Yeah.
I think
You kind of like get that sense of accomplishment when you like finish like a whole 10 season
Yeah.
series. You're like, I watched all of this.
Like, I watched
I did a good job.
I watched Nip Tuck from beginning to end on Netflix. Like, 'cause they used to have Nip
You watched the
Tuck.
last
gosh.
seasons too?
I did what the last season was terrible.
Oh man, you watched the last
I
seasons?
watched the last season.
I watched the whole
Condolences.
Nurse Jackie on
Okay.
Netflix, and I don't know if I was sad when it ended. I was just like, okay, this was cool. I can't believe I watched the whole 7 seasons, but also it made me want to watch The Sopranos because of
Edie Falco, she's a
Yeah.
great actress.
Yeah.
She's a great
Yes.
actress.
Yeah, HBO with their new shows though, with like Euphoria and Big Little Lies and stuff like that, the whole like having to wait a week really makes me mad sometimes. And that's just us being impatient, I think.
Yes,
We're
yes.
spoiled though.
Yeah,
We're
we
spoiled.
are spoiled.
Like
Yeah.
that's why Hulu and HBO is doing kind of okay. Netflix just releases everything right there, and
Yeah.
then you like are
Yeah.
sucked
I
in
think
for 2
that's
days
what's gonna
straight.
keep Netflix around because they know how people watch TV.
Yeah,
They
that's
don't
true.
do it like, okay, we're gonna release one episode. No,
Yep.
we're gonna release the whole season right now, and you're gonna sit and watch it.
Yep, exactly, and we do.
And we're
And
happy
we do
with
it,
that.
and you know it's not gonna come out for another year, and you're still gonna sit here and watch all 12 episodes in 12 hours.
Yep, and
All
then
right.
when it comes on again, repeat.
Amber, you got a favorite binge watch moment from Netflix?
I really like watching The Office. Like that, I'll go back to that if I have nothing to watch. Or like lately, I've been really into Sabrina. Like, have you guys seen like the remake of like
Oh,
Sabrina the
the
Teenage
new one?
Witch?
Okay.
The dark
Yeah,
one?
yeah. It's like super dark, and I like it a lot. I've been
Wow.
watching that. I just finished up season 2.
Has anybody watched the new Charmed? Because I've been watching a lot of the old Charmed, but
Oh, I didn't know they
how do
made
you
a new
guys-
one.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
How do you guys like the new one?
It feels like they're trying to cram too much into it. Like they're like, we don't know how long this is gonna last. If it's gonna last as long as the original Charm, so let's put all the
Well,
good
Charm
ideas in
was
the
on
first
for
season.
like what, 8 seasons?
8 seasons, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like they also modernized it a little bit.
Yeah.
I watched like the first episode.
Yeah.
So,
But it's set in
Oh.
Michigan.
oh, okay. I gotta
Made
watch
up
more
town,
now.
but
I'll represent.
How many movies and shows altogether do y'all have in your my list? I
I'm
got
looking at my
'98.
list.
I got
98.
98.
I don't have
Oh,
98.
I don't know.
I need to copy your list because this is what we have from her dad. We have like Stranger Things, which we haven't gotten, Vampire Diaries, Dexter, Ozark, the show which I'm watching, Oz, The Punisher.
No, The Shield's not on Netflix, is it?
Oh, he's talking about
It's on Hulu.
He's talking about
No, I'm talking about Netflix
Oh,
list. The Netflix
yeah.
list.
Oh, and I don't have a Netflix. I just have a list.
You do have a
Oh,
Netflix.
okay,
Oh, do I?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
he
then you
has
pull it
one.
up.
I'll pull it up.
I want to
But
say
how
I
can
have
you
like
count?
7. Not
Yeah.
a lot, like 7.
But
Yeah.
how,
I
I
don't
put
focus
stuff
on
in
my
my
list.
list that I like. Like I like Beyonce's Homecoming, so it's in my list because I don't want to go
You actually
searching
never
for it
made a
every
list.
time I want to watch Beyonce.
Oh, yeah.
There
The
you
stuff
go.
I put in my list is the stuff that I'm waiting to watch.
Oh, like
And like I feel like I got so much stuff in my list that sometimes Netflix like deletes some of them and then bring them back. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot this was in your list. Here you go. Like, cause I got so many ones in my queue.
I just put stuff in my list that I like to watch.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I do
Yeah.
too.
Into the Spider-Verse is on my list because every time my daughter wants to watch it, I don't feel like looking for it.
Yeah.
She's into Family Reunion now. Like, I've seen
Oh, how do you like that show?
I mean, I like it, but I've seen every episode at least 3 times.
Hold up.
Already.
Yeah, because she loves that show. Like,
That's good.
she
That's
bounces
good.
in between that on Netflix and the Bernie Mac show on Hulu.
Okay.
That's,
So,
she's watching good TV. I like that.
so covering what we just covered, I feel like I got one thing here that is fitting. Me and Shayna may have found the worst film on
yeah.
Netflix of all time.
Oh, let's hear it.
It's called Black
It's called
and
Black
Privileged.
and Privileged.
Volume 1.
Oh, yeah. There's
Volume
another
1.
part coming out.
Give the plot line of this film.
I don't know it.
Is it like Snow on the Bluff type
So-
quality?
no, no,
No, like Snow on the Bluff,
was a good
as
movie.
bad as it, I thought it was bad, but it kept me glued.
Yeah.
This, I'm like, I clocked out. Like,
So-
okay, it's kind of like, I'm not sure if you guys saw the first season of Girl. Like, they break what they call it, breaking the fourth wall.
What's it called?
When you talk to the audience, when
Oh,
you have
okay.
dialogue and then you talk to the audience, isn't that
Yeah,
called?
breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
They break the fourth wall a lot. It's like they will have a conversation like, yeah, da 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 da, but then they redlining the shit out of us. You know what I'm saying? And then the guy will be like, redlining is
Such and such and such and such.
Oh, God, like a
I'm like,
YouTube
oh
series.
yes.
And they do it too much.
They do
So-
they do it. I mean, I get
It's
what
a-
they were trying to do. It's just like it's not well acted. It's just
I see it
it's
has
poorly executed.
the infamous Brian White in it.
So it's an upper class black community in Chicago, which due to some I forgot what happened, but basically black families from lower income neighborhoods are moving in, and they're getting terrified of lower income black families moving in.
Oh, that sounds like a good plot.
No, it does, but it does it horribly. You're like it's so
Oh.
cliche and horrible, and the cutaways and the like. There's a I'll narrate a scene for you. We got like 10 minutes. We got 10 minutes left. I'll do it fast. So this one man, the one upper class man, goes across the street to a lower income black man's house and says, "Hey man, I don't like how you talk to my wife." Cut away to the lower income black guy getting mad, then cut back to the upper class black guy. Then he got like 20 people behind him all of a sudden. Like, "Hey man, we don't like the way you talk to his wife." I'm like, oh my goodness, what is this? This is a bad after-school special aimed towards adults.
Yeah,
So an after
that
work
is like
special?
spot on. Like it's not well. I get what they were trying to do.
Is it like dear white people, but horribly done?
The
No.
Room is more entertaining than this film. Does that make sense for you? Dear White People's good, but The Room is more entertaining than this film.
The Room, the movie?
Yes, The Room. Tommy
With
Wiseau, The
Tommy
Room.
Wiseau.
Oh,
Yeah.
that.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
All
that's
right.
that's pretty bad.
And
So
like
look-
being low budget it's not an excuse for it not being a good movie. Like me and Paige was talking about like the Detroit, like what they call hood
Yeah.
movies, like but they're really good. Like I always sing the praises of Plug Love. Like
Yeah,
that is
Plug
like
Love is a favorite for sure.
it's like a really good movie. Like it's well acted. And you can tell, like, they're in Detroit, like, they getting shawarmas. And
Yeah. Yeah.
Woman, Thou Art Loosed is a good one.
Is
The first one.
that a low budget? No.
Yeah.
It was kind of low budget.
I'm sure
It was
TD
kinda-
Jakes used some of their church money, too.
He did.
Of course,
Probably
but
did.
Because those weren't unknown actors and actresses in that movie. I think
Yeah.
it was Taraji. Yeah, Taraji
yeah,
was in that
it
movie.
was just like
No, not Taraji, Kimberly Ellis.
yeah,
yeah, but
Kimberly,
these
yeah.
were. It was basically a Tyler Perry movie.
Yeah.
but T.G. Jakes
Yeah.
made it. You know, so
But all right. Okay, so basically wrapping this up, final thoughts on the Netflix situation. My final thoughts, I think it's going to survive. Like it's like what you said, like they know what TV watchers want. I think they got a lot of competition coming their way besides Hulu and Amazon. It's going to be a little harder. There needs to be more marketing meetings. I love what they're doing on Facebook. I love their social media strategies on how they like promote and drop things through Facebook, Twitter, and the like.
Yes, like they had a movie with Dennis, was it Haysbert, the Allstate guy?
Oh yeah,
So-
we watched that.
The obsession
Friday.
one.
Yeah, that's
Like I was
movie.
watching it.
Yeah.
Like I watched it. I'm like, is this the Allstate
like
guy?
on their
Yes.
on their
That's what I
Twitter, they
said.
was like, first of all, he's not the Allstate guy. He's been in all these movies. Like, put some
24.
respect on his
Yeah.
name.
24.
Yeah, he was in 20. Like, he's
Love and
out-
Basketball.
Yeah, they was like, he's been in all these movies. Like, you need to put some respect on his name. I'm like, who is running their Twitter? Like,
Yeah.
this is genius.
Yeah.
I mean, but that is genius. Dennis Haysbert, there needs to be respect on his name. But yeah, I think with all these things, Netflix can't survive. They are a unique factor in the streaming world, and
They're the OG.
I love them. Even with the high price, I'm still gonna stick around. I think when it gets to probably like close to 18, I might be like, all right, I gotta drop out. I just have to drop out. I
But
don't
they're
know.
raising the minimum wage.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess, but I don't know if it'll go that far. But still, overall I like it. Do you guys have any final thoughts, Nicole?
I think they're gonna they have their own content, like I said, which is doing pretty well. And then I also circle back to Bandersnatch when that came out, where it was interactive for
Oh,
the
yeah.
viewer.
But it was,
And Netflix might keep going along with something like that. I'm not saying it was great, but
It was kind of cool though.
it was cool for like an hour, and then you're like 4 hours in,
Yeah, you're like,
and
"All right,
you're
let me
like,
done."
why isn't this over?
Amber, what do you think?
I think they'll survive. I think they're doing pretty good, especially with I don't know. I like the original content of shows and movies. I like some of the movies they come out with, so I think they'll be fine.
They do romantic comedies.
Yeah,
well.
Pretty good.
Or, like,
yeah.
I don't know. What's the one? I think it's called The Perfectionist. Did you guys see that?
yes, I saw that.
I
Yeah.
heard about that.
It was
That-
weird, but it was
Anthony,
really
you would
good.
like that if
I
you
liked
liked
it.
Hereditary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll look
you're
into it.
right. There
Yeah.
was.
You should watch it.
Yeah, it's called the Perfectionist.
Perfectionist.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was good.
I think it will survive, but I don't know. Like they throw a lot of money at
Yeah.
people in shows. Like they put a lot of money into the Get Down. Like that's like one of the most expensive
And they canceled
shows.
it,
Yeah,
which made
that's
me
like,
mad.
That's like one of the most expensive shows of all time.
And it was a good show.
It
I
was a
liked
good
it.
show, but I didn't see $10 million episodes.
I agree
Like,
because
I
they did
didn't-
on my block and they were kind of similar. I
Yeah.
mean, the theme is kind of similar, so it's just like, oh,
Yeah, I think if they can budget correctly.
And,
Yeah.
and you got the Ryan Murphys and Shonda Rhimes coming. Who
Yeah.
always make addictive TV.
yeah.
You know.
Shonda Rhimes is the goat.
Benny and Paige, what are your final thoughts?
As long as Netflix can stay aggressive and try to be cutting edge, I mean, do what you do best. Still get those movies, those blockbusters. When they had Avengers Endgame for Christmas, come in, I watched that
Black
so
Panther
much.
too.
And Black
Watch.
Panther too.
That's
Like
still on there too. I
Yes.
mean, because as soon as Disney comes through with that, they're not going to be there anymore, and that
Right.
might kill Netflix a little bit.
yeah, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, if you can do stuff like Narcos, which I hear is so amazing, and which Breaking Bad's still on Netflix, which I'm still watching, and you can still do what you do originally, but still switch it up a little bit and not be too expensive. They'll be okay with you.
I definitely think I think they will definitely survive. They do have the budget better, but they have been doing great with like their stand-ups for comedians.
Aziz Ansari's was. I don't
Yeah.
know if you watched that. It was surprisingly good.
Oh yeah, I meant to tell you he has one. on there.
Yeah.
Right before we close out, I want you to plug your new film coming out because you got a new film.
Oh yeah, I have a new film coming out August 20th. It's called Chasing After You. It's a faith-based drama about a guy who is in pursuit of a girl who is only messing with God. So
Okay.
So that comes out August 20th at the Bel Air Theater. And yeah, definitely go see it if you have some time.
What
But
time?
It's at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
And the tickets are on Eventbrite. It's chasingafteryou.eventbrite.com. So
Okay, great.
check that out.
So I want to thank everybody for coming. Eric is on leave. We miss you. Like, share, subscribe, give feedback. Thank you for listening to Can We Talk.